there's not a whole ton of events in Florida.
Yeah.
So he does a lot of traveling. So yeah, not having to travel for an event is pretty sweet.
We're underway. It's a fortified village here for Logan. For Aaron, it's a shambling vent. Again, Logan's build of this deck very, very different, as there is a Hangerback Walker with 1 counter. 3 main deck copies of Evolutionary Leap. Normally you see 1, maybe 2 at most. He's got 3 of those. He's got 3 Stasis Snares, 3 Planner Outburst. No Nissa Voice of Zendikar, so his build is very, very different, but he's off to a great start with it.
Well, and a lot of the decisions that he's made here might not line up as well against like the black-white control deck. The Evolutionary Leap is good, but the planar outbursts aren't particularly good. The lack of Nissa is a problem. You know, you want that to make that land drop and to have it flip into a Planeswalker and get you more card advantage that way.
You saw Grasp of Darkness take care of Hangerback Walker right away. That's a shambling vent there for Sorrells. That's land number 3. And Mize says, I'm going to sacrifice this Thopter right away and activate Evolutionary Leap. Evolutionary Leap will find Hangerback Walker.
And I know you're a big proponent of the black-white control deck.
I do like it quite a bit.
I actually wrote a little blurb about it myself a couple weeks ago for the weekly newsletter.
Yeah.
And I'm also a pretty big fan. It's very possible. You see all the top players just on green-white tokens. Maybe that's just where you have to be.
I think the matchup is really close.
Yep.
I don't know who it's favorable for. So, you know, I've played 5 matches against Green-White Sanction. I've won 4 of them, and I lost to Jerry 2 weeks ago in Atlanta. It's for him to get his 14th win. So, you know, I try to extrapolate as much data from that as I can and be honest with myself. And it's like, okay, Jerry's awesome, and he was on a great run. So losing to him, there's no shame in that. But, okay, am I winning the other Green-White matchups because the player wasn't as good as Jerry, or maybe my draws were good and the opponent's draws weren't that good? All the games always felt super close. You know, it was not a runaway on either side. And the matches I played against Jerry were all super close as well. So I feel like Black-White can win, but is this the best way to approach this, or are you just supposed to say, yeah, Black-White can win, but you should just be playing Green-White anyway?
Yeah.
You know, well, that's the hard part.
And the metagame is more than just this matchup.
Yes, that's the thing.
That's the question, is like, against the rest of the field, if Green-White tokens is just that solid against everything else, like, there's no reason to be trying to play a different deck.
Yeah. And is Black-White good against everything else? You know, that's the other question, too, because Black-White definitely, it's a deck that you can easily poke holes in.
Yes.
You know, a deck like Jim Davis's we saw last round, that's a nightmare for Black-White.
Yep.
You don't want anything to do with that. Sorrells is going to play Ob Nixilis Reignited here. And if people are going to start building their green-white decks like Logan has, where they have a ton of Evolutionary Leaps, that's bad news for Black-White.
Yeah, here Aaron's sitting on a whole handful of removal spells, and you just can't cast them.
Yeah. The Leap just makes the removal irrelevant. And so then, all of a sudden, as a Black-White control player, you have to find an Anguish Unmaking to take care of Evolutionary Leap and then kill their creatures.
Which, that's one of the reasons when I did my write-up on the deck, I actually said that right now you should probably be playing 4 Anguished Unmakings.
Yeah, it's so many, too.
It's so many, but the Black-White deck does have ways to make up for that loss of life. You know, with cards like Shambling Vent and Sorin, you can make up for that loss of life. And I think that there's enough enchantments and artifacts running around that you want to get off the board that it's just right to play 4 Anguished Unmaking.
Well, you do. So on the whole, I agree with you, but you were paying some cost in a lot of different ways.
Oh, for sure.
You know, you get paired against humans with a 4 Anguish Unmaking deck.
Yep.
Yeah, you're basically dead already. You know, maybe in the first game you don't draw 2 of them or something like that. I don't know, but that's bad news. As here comes Archangel Avacyn to knock Ob Nixilis down to 2 counters. But that's kind of where the standard metagame is at, which I think is cool. You know, you can make a decision on if I want to play 4 Anguish Unmakings, because in some matchups I think it's right. In other matchups you are going to certainly pay the price. But we're getting to the point now where, because Eldritch Moon isn't here yet and people aren't working with new cards, I think everyone has an idea of what cards are in the metagame, how you're supposed to go about building decks now. And so now you get a little creative with the deck building that you do, which is exactly what Logan has done here. You see an Elvish Visionary being found off of the Evolutionary Leap activation, 2 Thopters there left over from the Hangerback Walker. What's also kind of cool, too, is with the way that Logan has built his deck, he might be the best build of green-white tokens of just transforming Avacyn. He's got 3 leaps. He, of course, has hangerback walkers. I think it's just pretty easy for him to do with regularity. For example, it's going to transform next turn now and finish, and ideally finish off Omnixilus.
Yep.
There's Elvish Visionary, so Logan will draw.
And then the leap will cash in all of these other creatures for tons of cards in his hand.
Exactly. So, Avacyn's triggers on the stack. And what's interesting now, too, is, all right, if I'm Aaron, I can say, all right, I'll grasp it with it on the stack. And Logan just says, all right, I'll sack it.
Yep.
I don't care. But Aaron is going to let Avacyn transform. It'll deal 3 damage over to Omnixilus. Logan should take 3 as well.
No.
No, am I wrong? 3 damage to each creature and then the opponent.
Yep.
My fault. Ooh, there's Soren. So sacrifice Avacyn the Purifier.
So no life gain.
Yes. And, ooh. 2 of those in the main deck. So no Nissa Voices Zendikar, but 2 main deck copies Nissa Vaspits here. This is a different build of this green-white token stack.
It's much more controlling.
Yeah.
Maybe he just doesn't own any.
Yeah, tough times for Logan.
Yeah.
I understand.
Sometimes you're limited by the size of your collection.
That's true. Logan, who, is playing 2 players championships and his win percentage is absurd, just came up a little short on the cards he could find this week.
He won in the Friday Night Magic and opened the packs that he won, but it just wasn't in there for him.
Didn't have it. He's going to transform Nissa. Starts on 3 counters. One of the things when I was playing against Logan in Atlanta, he just sat down and he was just like, I hate my deck. I was like, that's a really weird thing to say. He's like, he's 6-1. He's just like, I hate my deck. And then he just plays like a Fortified Village and an Oath of Nissa. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
He's like, no, I hate it. I don't like it at all. And we had like a really good back and forth match. And I mean, I didn't think that he was lying, but it was just a really weird thing to say when he was having a good tournament. He's just like, I just don't like Nissa, and I don't like the way the games play. I don't really like Secure the Waste. And he has taken this deck and changed it completely to something that ideally he likes.
Well, and that's one of the things that a lot of the better, more innovative players do, is they find what works best for them.
Yeah. Because this build is way different. We might have to do a little deck tech in the sideboard with Logan Mize. See how he's come to this build. Again, 3 Evolutionary Leaps is so many main deck, but you do such a good job of blanking people's removal.
Well, and no Nissa is just...
That's the wild part.
Yeah, that's a huge shift.
And they're not even in the sideboard. Like, he is just without Nissa Voices Zendikar. For Sorrells, this just feels like kind of uncomfortable territory. If I'm him, like, all right, my creature removal does nothing. So I don't like that. That's just kind of an uncomfortable thing.
Yeah.
And he can still play a Secure the Waste game, which is nice. And I think that's what he's going to try to set up this turn.
Yeah, this game hasn't gotten out of control for him yet. But it very potentially can.
Another thing to know about Logan's deck that I just realized. No Dromoka's commands.
Which might be right. We were talking about... we haven't seen any Cryptolith Rights in the room yet, which is one of the big cards that you're scared of, which is why you play a card like Dromoka's Command.
Yeah, I mean, a super versatile card, but answers a lot of unorthodox cards like Cryptolith Right.
Sure. But if you're going more control-ish, you want a Wrath of God effect instead of a 1-for-1, keep the pressure on the opponent type effect.
Yep. This is Secure the Waste.
And we also said against opposing green-white tokens decks, they're a little bit insulated against the sacrifice enchantment. If you're trying to get rid of their evolutionary leaps, it doesn't work because they've got their Oath of Nissa sitting around on the board.
Yep. Now, at least that's one card that Logan does have. He does have 4 Oath of Nissas in his deck. Then he saw Sorrells play Secure the Waste for 6, block a Shia with 1. Now let's see Declaration of Stone. See you later, alligator.
Yeah, that's... Aaron can't be very happy to see that.
No, not the kind of exchange I think he wants to make with Secure the Waste. The follow-up now is Hangerback Walker for 2. And pass.
And this is very much, to me, this is what I think when I think of Logan playing Magic. is this very deliberate, slow build. You know, he's being careful. He just has all these cards in his hand. He's got all these utility creatures on the board.
It's almost like he built an Obzon company, which
Yes,
he likes to play.
yes.
He likes to play in Modern, and he's like, I'm going to try to build that sort of deck over in Standard.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like. I mean, you don't have the same toolbox and all that stuff, but that's what it feels like he's trying to do here. I can also just appreciate the willingness to go against the grain and say, I don't like the way that green-white tokens is being built right now. I'm going to try something else. Here's Languish. Mize will sacrifice a Shia. Elvish Visionary is going to go to Grip. And now, Hanging Back Walker down. Here's Hollowed Moonlight to make sure that Mize does not get any Thopters. Sorrells will draw. Picked up a copy of Anguish Unmaking, place a Shambling Gun for the turn, pass the turn back.
And the Elvish Visionaries are very interesting to me because they seem very mediocre when you flip into them with an Evolutionary Leap, but you can just immediately sacrifice it again.
Yeah, they're not bad.
Yeah.
They can't be. There's Evolutionary Leap off of Nissa.
Which is painful for Aaron because he just drew the
Anguish
Anguished Unmaking, and I'm sure he was thinking, all right, I'm this close to getting out from underneath.
It's, man, so, okay. I guess eventually, my thought process now is like, how does Logan actually kill someone? Because, like, this is all well and good. I got all this card advantage. You can't kill all my stuff because I got all these leaps. But how are you actually going to kill someone? I guess eventually your opponent just runs out of stuff.
Well, and he will have the ability to kill his opponent. I mean, eventually he's just going to start flipping into, like, the Archangel Avacens every time he uses the leap. He's got the Westfell Abbeys, so he can go that route. You know, he's generating so much card advantage. He has so many resources to work with that he doesn't need to be aggressive and figure out how to win right now, right away. It's just going to happen.
Just over time, he'll probably get the job done. Shambling, nope. I thought I might be getting fired up. Here's a Read the Bones. Sorrells will lose 2 life. Scry 2 and then draw 2.
And to Aaron's credit, he's kept up in this game in the card advantage department. Soren's drawn him a whole bunch of cards. He hasn't taken a whole bunch of damage yet. So he's definitely in this. It's not like he's out of this game.
Got a lot of cards, like you said. Planetary Outburst and Battlefield Forge, Anguish Unmaking, we know about that. Here's Anguish Unmaking. Gonna go after Nissa. No sense in killing Evolutionary Leap when you know your opponent has another one.
Yep.
Not getting anything done then. So there goes the Sage Animus. It's exiled. Anything else here for Sorrells? Just a Forsaken Sanctuary and a passing of the turn over to Mize, who on the end step will activate Westvale Abbey to make a human cleric. Lose a life to do so. And now we're going to head back his way. So he'll draw.
Yeah, with all these Evolutionary Leaps, every just seemingly innocuous creature is just actually a great threat.
Yep. Even just boring 1/1s.
Well, especially against the black-white control deck. It's not like they're going to just gum up the board with a few creatures and stonewall you that way.
Soren's down to 2. Yeah, this just feels really hard for Sorrells, even though he's got a million cards. It just seems tough. And Mize just comfortable past the turn back. All right, over to Aaron. He'll draw. Picked up a Languish.
I mean, Aaron does have all of the tools here to win this game at some point. You know, it looks like he's got another Secure the Waste in his hand. There's a Gideon to make them much larger. He's got a Wrath of God effect. He's got Languish.
Transgress. See what's actually going on over here. I actually like this a lot.
And if Soren keeps hitting big things,
Kill him that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Looks like Mize is going to respond here with Avacyn. Stasis Snares, plural, are in Logan's hands, so Transgress will take one of those. Leaves him with a Plains, a Forest, an Evolutionary Leap, and a Stasis Snare. Avacyn did Resolve. I think now we're going to see a Languish here from Sorrells. We will. So Mize will do some sacrificing. Start by sacrificing the Cleric to Evolutionary Leap. Elvish Visionary goes to hand. The next one gives Mize an Archangel Avacyn.
Yeah, so many cards to work with here for Logan.
Yep. And the next one. Sacrifice Archangel Avacyn. And Logan will get, as he makes his way through a couple of cards here, an Archangel Avacyn.
Not bad.
I've seen worse.
Looks like a foil Archangel Avacyn.
Ah, he's fancy.
That's why he couldn't afford the Nissas.
Yep. He spent his money the wrong
Yeah,
way.
he spent all of his allowance on the foil Archangels.
Here's a Gideon. It will make a Knight Ally, and we'll head back Mize's way. He'll draw. Now again, this is all well and good, as he picked up a copy of Planner Outburst, which is interesting, because he could cast Planner Outburst with Awaken and kill one of these Planeswalkers.
Yep. But part of this is the strength of the black-white control deck. Your path to victory is generally through your Planeswalkers or a whole bunch of tokens. So the traditional removal does not line up particularly well against you.
Yeah, not at all. Land for the turn is a Forest. Yep, here's Outburst.
Yeah, this play is just a little too good to not do.
I'm curious which Planeswalker he wants to kill. Gideon and Sorin are both pretty good.
Yeah, Gideon is dangerous more because of the emblem.
Yeah.
You know, he has a Stasis Snare if his opponent ever tries to get aggressive with it.
Yeah, he's got the Stasis Snare for either that or Ormondal.
Yeah.
So, I think I want to take care of Sorin more.
But there's still the potential for the opponent to just go, you know, big secure the waist, make an emblem.
Yep.
And just kill you.
Yep. That's a fear. On Sorrells' side, there's Westville Abbey. It's got, looks like 3 Shambling Events on the battlefield. Gonna reorganize his lands, figure out how he wants to use them.
Yeah, he's doing some math here to see.
He's gonna play Planner Outburst. Okay. Yep, that'll take care of that. He's gonna plus Gideon. Planner Outburst is non-lands, of course. Yep.
Yeah, I think he thought he was getting that land off of the board as well.
Grasp will take care of the land now, though.
That'll do it.
Plus Gideon gets you for 9, puts you to 6. Not a bad turn.
Well, now if that Westville Abbey transforms into Ormondal, it's going to have some counters on it.
Wrong.
Oh, does it exile itself?
This came up.
Okay, tell me.
Yeah, this came up on the internet, on Twitter a couple of days ago. I don't think, when it gets counters, it's not beneficial. That much I remember. See if I can get a judge. I was blown away when I read it.
Okay.
Basically, like, it's Twitter. You guys can chime in as well, because I'm sure Chris Lansdale's probably watching. It's not good. It's not good. That's all I know. Counters on a Westville Abbey, and then you transform it. It's not a positive. So, I don't want to quote something incorrectly.
Okay.
So when I do have a ruling on that, or Twitter chimes in, they can let me know. and I'll be sure to let everyone know at home as well as you here in the booth with me, it's not a positive. It's a negative.
Okay.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird.
That is weird. I'm a little skeptical.
You're skeptical, huh?
Skeptical right now.
Right now, I'm skeptical of Logan's chances of winning. I'm not feeling good for him right now. I don't think he's in a good spot. Even though he's generated all this card advantage with Evolutionary Leap, he hasn't really been able to convert those resources. Yeah, so Awaken sets the Ormondal to 0-0 before it gets counters instead of a 9-7.
Okay.
It's weird. It's really strange.
And it doesn't transform from the 0-0 into the 9-7?
I don't think so.
This might be a layering ruling.
Yeah, it sounds like a layering thing.
Which I will not try to explain.
I want to be able to give a better explanation to our viewers at home, so we'll work on that.
This is kind of interesting what we're seeing from Aaron here. It seems like he could have just passed the turn, played a big Secure the Waste. I believe that's the last card in his hand.
He does have one in his hand, yeah.
And just gotten the win that way. And he seems to be trying to battle through it with the creatures instead.
Yeah, Logan down. Just going to concede the game. So Aaron Sorrells is going to win game number 1 here against Logan Mize. Black-White Control up a game over green-white tokens, which is interesting, right? Because Logan had an Evolutionary Leap going the entire time.
Yep.
Basically blinking all of Aaron's spot removal, but Aaron was still able to get the job done with Planeswalkers and Creature Lands.
Yeah, kind of in the mid-game. That we thought that Logan was just going to generate so many cards that he was going to run away with the game.
Yeah, and that's just not what happened. So now I think if you're looking to go to the drawing board, which is what his sideboard is for, so he's got 1 Planner Outburst, 2 Quarantine Field, Anissa Vastwood Seer, 4 Den Protector, a Declaration in Stone, 3 Secure the Waste, and Laval the Preserver and 2 Clipwings. He's got plenty of ways to play a longer game, I'd say.
Yeah, I think a lot of these cards are going to come in. The Quarantine Fields are great against Planeswalkers. The Nissa Vastwood Seer is obviously good in a matchup like this. The Den Protectors are great at rebuying things. And then they can be cashed into the Evolutionary Leaps at some point. So a healthy dose of those cards will probably come in. Probably the Secure the Wastes as well.
On the other side of things, you've got 4 Duress, 2 Thought-Knots here, 2 Reality Smasher, 2 Linval the Preserver, 3 Kalidas Trader of Get, a Quarantined Field, and an Alternate Price. What do you like there?
Aaron has some options here. I don't know if I'd want to bring in all of these cards, although they all do seem pretty good. The 4 Duresses obviously just need to come in against these green-white tokens decks. You can strip away the early Planeswalkers, the Evolutionary Leaps, all of those types of cards. A card like Kalidas is interesting because it stops some of the opposing cards from doing what they do, like Hangerback Walker.
Yep.
The Thought-Knot here is also kind of interesting. The ability to strip a key card seems really good, but the question is, do you really want to bring in that many cards in this matchup?
I suppose that's true. This is interesting, just because Logan's build of the deck is so much different. So I'm curious to see how he's going to sideboard, how Aaron will sideboard based off of what he saw and how the next couple of games will play out, assuming we just see 2 sideboarded games. While they do sideboard and get ready to go, and it looks like Logan's going to take his time here because he's got a lot of options in his sideboard, we're going to talk about regionals here with Star City Games, where you're going to get an awesome playmat and an awesome token. Now,
Oh, not again.
what?
Oh, wait, that's the... Oh, not again.
The clue to, oh, you got me, actually.
Dang.
You actually just got me.
I can't believe that worked.
I cannot believe
I cannot believe that worked.
The token is UG, not again. You got me actually really good.
This is absurd.
Yeah, I'm actually embarrassed right now. That's a token you'll get when you do enter the tournament as well. We take a look at the next slide. Regional Championships for Season 2 of the SCG Tour, August 6th. 2016. Free exclusive playmat and token to the first 200 players. Now keep in mind there are some SCG points involved with this, as well as some sweet prizes as well. Winner will get $1,200, 20 SCG points, and an invite to one of our invitationals. And as far as locations are concerned, we got them now. They're everywhere, up to and including Calgary, Alberta, Canada. First time we've had a regionals in Canada. We're making our way to the great north.
That's awesome.
So Calgary is our first one. We're looking to get in Vancouver, Toronto, a bunch of other places in Canada as well. So hopefully everybody in Calgary can represent so we can get more locations up there in Canada. But you'll see we'll be in Phoenix, Pacifica, Baton Rouge, Dallas, Texas, Worcester, MA, which will actually be for the SCG Tour soon in a couple weeks as well. So go to StarCityGames.com/regionals. Hopefully we see you at one of those locations August 6th, and you can get the token UG, not again.
And it's more sweet Cedric Phillips artwork, right?
That's another one I drew in my
There's
spare
another
time.
project of yours?
Yeah. I got a lot of extra time in my hands. So I find some time during my lunch break to just, boom, put some tokens together. I got a real gift.
Sure. And part of what this whole thing demonstrated is that Cedric Phillips is not gullible at all.
No, you can't trick me.
Cannot trick this man.
You cannot trick me. Let's learn a little bit more about Logan Mize, shall we, since he'll be on the play for game number 2. The Florida native, for once he didn't have to travel to a tournament, so happy for him. Number 17 on our Player of the Year leaderboard. We've seen him at 2 Players' Championships. I think chances are pretty high we'll see him in a third one.
Yeah.
The 26-year-old with 7 open top 8s, and I know it's crazy, no open wins. He's lost in the finals a couple times. 2 invitational top 8s as well. Golf, bowling, baseball, Phoenix competitive drive outside of Magic. He has a near encyclopedic knowledge of his favorite animal, the penguin, by the way.
Yeah, we keep wanting to challenge him on this.
Yeah, so I remember very well at our Open in Chicago last year, where he was in the finals. Logan was playing White-Blue Heroic. His opponent was playing Green-White Devotion, and Green-Red Devotion. Nick Miller just had the questions ready.
Yeah.
Because we were all pretty sure Logan was going to win. It's a great matchup for Heroic. So we had the questions ready, and Logan got upset. He lost that match. And so Nick is just like, I had great penguin questions. I was just ready to challenge him, and we never got to do it. So we're only going to challenge him if he's in the sideboard taking a trophy home.
Sure. Yeah, you think Nick still has those questions ready?
I know Nick still has those questions ready.
It's just like, how many wings does a penguin have?
Nick Miller. Yes.
Yeah.
Nick. So I think the answer to that question is 0, but it's probably not because Logan would know and I wouldn't. But I'm hoping we actually do get to do that. You see the opening hand here for Logan. He had a fortified village. He's going to lose his evolutionary leap. And this a Vastwood Seer, a Dent Protector, a Declaration in Stone, a couple of lands there in Plains and Forest as we head back Mize's way.
And this is early, but that's exactly what you want to see if you're Aaron. You're playing against a deck with no early pressure, and you got to strip one of their best cards against you with a turn 1 duress.
Yeah, I think you're pretty happy about that. Here's Nissa. Going to search up a Forest. Will Logan pass the turn back over to Sorrells, so we go back Aaron's way. 2 Caves of Koilos to start here for Aaron. Some painful lands. You see the Reality Smasher in his hand. Part of the reason he has so many colorless lands in his deck, like a Battlefield Forge. We've seen players like Owen Turtenwald and Brad Nelson play a card like Bearer of Silence in their sideboard for black-white control. We've also seen Thought-Knot Seers before, and Eldrazi Displacers. This here's a Read the Bones, and a painful one. It'll deal Sorrells 3 total.
Part of the benefit of Reality Smasher is that it has trample, so it's very good when you're going after Planeswalkers, because they can't just throw a plant token in front of it.
Yeah.
We know that Logan doesn't even have a Planeswalker that makes plants, but Aaron is probably still thinking that that's a possibility.
Yeah, you'd just be shocked.
Yeah.
Not to see Nissa Voices Zendikar in a green-white deck, but that's exactly where we're at right now. Is Sorrells is going to fall down to 14. A Forest, and all Mize can do is pass.
Yeah, the fact that Mize doesn't even have Sylvan Advocates in his deck is just...
I forgot about that, too.
It's just crazy.
Yeah.
He's 4-0.
It's a good start.
Crazy like a fox.
Yeah. Here's a Gideon. You have to take 2 to cast that as well. It's a painful game here for him.
Yeah.
Those pain lands are not free. Mize is... Does he have anything to do on the end step?
Yeah, he needs to start getting onto this board. Just kind of dirtling around for the first 5 turns. Like, last game he was pretty proactive through the first 5 turns, and he still lost that game. So a game where he comes out even slower, I can't think would be very good for him at all.
Yeah, he is really slow out of the gate this game.
Attention Magic players, this is a last call to register for our
We know he's got a Dent Protector. We know he's got a Declaration in Stone and a Stasis Snare, so he's got a lot of creature removal. And the thing is, when you play against black-white for sideboard, they typically sideboard in a lot of creatures. Eldrazi Displacer, Kalidas, Trader of Get. Some people have Linvala.
Yep.
We see Archangel Avacyn, Hangerback Walker, Thought-Knot Seer. Aaron has Reality Smasher.
Yep.
So you board in a lot of creature removal. to kind of preempt what they're going to do. But Logan's creature removal hasn't done very much at this game.
Yeah, the danger is when they just don't play those creatures early.
Yep.
And you're just sitting on useless cards in your hand.
Sorrells with another duress in hand. Ruinous Path, Reality Smasher, Anguish Unmaking.
Yeah, and Sorrells has so many options here. He's wondering, do I just deploy this Reality Smasher and just start getting in? Do I run the Duress and Anguish Unmaking?
Looks like he's going to take one, at least. Jeez.
He is not shy about this.
He is really beating himself up.
Yeah.
He's down to 8.
And with all this damage that he's taken, an Archangel of Avacyn starts to become a real threat.
It's very real then.
You know, if he was still at 18, that card is almost meaningless on this board.
Stasis Snare is going to take care of Gideon. The Knight Ally is going to come in for 2. All right, over to Logan Mize. Westville Abbey.
Turned out to be a really good turn for Logan. He didn't really want to sacrifice the Nissa anytime soon to the leap. He's hoping to get it to transform. And he was also able to Stasis Snare the best threat on the opponent's side.
Den Protector. Pass the turn back. Sorrells will draw. Picked up a Swamp. Forsaken Sanctuary was a land last turn for Aaron. So he's working his way out of this.
Yeah, this is much better. He's going to have a couple of basics and a non-painful source of white.
Yeah, which is, I think, pretty important.
Yeah. From 6 life, yeah.
These are some of the draws that Black-White can get sometimes. Sorrell's doing a lot of math right now. Again, Reality Smasher in hand. We know he has to Duress. Ruinous Path as well. Also a Grasp of Darkness over there.
That's a lot of black mana symbols in some of those cards.
Yes, it is.
So he's probably thinking, you know, that's a Den Protector on that side. If I kill the Den Protector and he rebuys the Evolutionary Leap, then I can immediately strip the Leap with the Duress that I have left.
Mm-hmm.
But he's got to take damage to do that. I'm sure he's not a big fan of Nissa transforming.
I don't think you can like that very much, even though you do have an answer with Ruinous Path. Let's see what this is. Ruinous Path going after Den Protector. Okay.
Yeah, he might just want to do everything here. He can Duress and Grasp of Darkness, taking 2 more damage.
I'd be okay with that. I mean, I don't love going to 4. If I see what's in my opponent's hand, which is not very much, he's going to take Declaration in Stone.
Yeah, that leap is not looking particularly effective right now.
Okay.
It's actually still
He's already played a land for the turn.
a little bit dangerous because of the Westville Abbey.
Yep. There's land 7.
Maybe.
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 Trigger. Yeah, so one of the things I don't like is I don't like this line by Aaron because he just misses on 2 points of damage.
Well, and one thing that he didn't think about, there's usually not Evolving Wilds in this green-white deck.
Yes.
But if there is Evolving Wilds,
That would have been a disaster.
yeah, he can't stop that thing from transforming.
Yeah. And here's Reality Smasher. If your plan was to grasp the Nissa anyway,
Yeah.
you might as well just grasp it on your main phase to make sure like nothing goes wrong.
Yep.
Like if there's a surprise Evolving Wilds or who knows what, and you're going to kill it anyway. So now he just missed out on 2 points of damage, and we're kind of in a racing situation. So I mean, I don't think he's left with any choice but to attack because he can't play around Archangel Avacyn now either. So here's an attack for 7. Logan is going to make a Cleric on tap. He's at 10. Draw. And he can still win this game.
I don't trust those clerics.
No?
I
Not a fan.
think they're hiding something sinister.
They're definitely up to no good.
Yeah.
Here comes Leap. Is he going to sack main phase? He can at least tack main phase.
Yeah, he'll get a point in.
Push you down to 3. I like sacking main phase a lot. He could find something he wants to play right now, like Elvish Visionary or Archangel Avacyn.
A Hangerback Walker.
Yep. He hasn't played a land yet, so there's a land coming. Yep.
Yep. And that Avacyn's just going to sit in his hand for as long as possible.
Mm-hmm. Sorrells' last card is...
Look like Secure the
Yeah,
Waste.
it's Secure. So he'll draw Shambling Vent. I think he just might be dead now.
Yeah. This is kind of amazing that the game shook down the way that it did.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing I don't really like is just leaving Logan with Leap.
Yeah, well, his only threat at the time was a little lonely 2/2 Knight.
Yeah.
But, you know, watching the game, so what? He Declaration and Stones that thing. Not that big of a deal. It wasn't just going to win the game all by itself anyway.
Also, if he Declaration and Stones your Reality Smasher, like, I think if I take my opponent's Leap and I leave him with a Declaration Stone, and okay, you want to play like this kind of long, drawn-out game where like I have Planeswalkers to draw and like Cletus and you have like your cards to draw. Like, I'm not saying you want to try to get yourself into a top decking situation, but I think the top decks are better for Aaron than Logan in that spot.
Yeah, well, and the Evolutionary Leap was his doom in the end.
Yeah, that's the card that ends up beating him, as Logan found the perfect card, obviously, off of the Evolutionary Leap and Avacyn, which allows him to kill Aaron from all the damage he dealt to himself with his lands that game. But I think he actually indirectly worked himself into that situation.
Yes. Well, he knew he was taking so much damage from his lands as well.
Yeah.
So playing safe, not giving your opponent those shots at Archangel Avacyn might be the right play.
Yeah. I think so. I think that's one Aaron's going to go back and review afterwards. I think that's a game that he let get away from him there, as Logan Mize does tie things up against Aaron Sorrells. Green White Tokens, Black White Control, going to get ready here for game number 3. All right, Craig. So let's imagine you're Aaron here. You're playing Black White Control. You're pretty well versed in the format. You've just played 2 games against Logan, and you haven't seen Sylvan Advocate, but you've seen Elvish Visionary. You haven't seen Jamoka's Command, but it's not that good of a card in the matchup anyway, typically.
It would be coming out anyway.
You haven't seen Nissa, Voice of Zendikar. Like, as a Magic player, what are you thinking right now? Like, my opponent's up to something weird, I guess.
Honestly, I would still have a hard time believing that some of those cards were not in his deck.
Okay.
Like, for someone to show up with a green-white deck and still play Oath of Nissa and then not have Nissas to flip into for turn 3, I just can't believe that's the case. In my head, I'm going, oh, he's just been pretty unlucky not to have a turn 3 Planeswalker.
That's what it feels like. But, you know, you also kind of keep track a little bit when they go by the Evolutionary Leaps.
You've seen a lot of cards off the leap, so it's hard. If I wasn't looking at the deck list, I would have a hard time believing that those cards weren't in his deck.
Yeah, same. That's where I would be too. It's just I haven't seen one yet. I'm not going to play as though you don't have them. Like, I'm not going to take out Ruinous Path.
Yeah.
Or Anguish Unmaking. It's just there's something probably going off your head where, all right, something weird's going on.
Yes.
I don't know what it is, but something weird's going on. It's not a normal take on green-white, that's for sure. These players will shuffle up here for game number 3. Logan Mize will be on the play. About 10 minutes left when we start this one. Very quickly, we'll take a look at our creature collection here with Star City Games. Available now in playmat sleeves and player bundles is the Otter Spell throughout the month of June and moving forward, of course, as it's also for game night. And then we have Los Tigre, the Tiger, available in playmat sleeves and player bundles. Go.starcitygames.com/creature collection for more information about those products. And now, as these players do lay out their opening hands, quickly learn a little bit more about Aaron Sorrells. He'll be on the draw on the play this game. Wow.
There we go.
15?
I wish I was
15?
I wish I was the young Aaron Sorrells that you told me to imagine I was.
I thought for sure he was like 18 or 19. All right, 4 dogs. This is the first time I've read this one. 4 dogs, watch a lot of TED Talks, probably listens to a lot of SED Talks, and loves the Flash.
What are the dogs' names? Read those names. Come on.
Melly, Cody, Pixel, and Flo.
Nice.
Flo's the best one from Geico. Open top 8's 1 from Tampa Bay, Florida, so nearby. And a member of Team's Next Rich Games. 15? I didn't know he was 15. That's insane. He doesn't look 15.
Yeah, and he seems to be playing pretty well. Long Magic career ahead of him if he wants it.
No, absolutely. I just pegged. He's going to take a mulligan. I pegged like 17, 18.
Yeah.
Like kind of late in the high school, junior, senior. Not like, just got done with freshman year, headed into sophomore year of high school. I didn't really peg him for that. Pretty good. Jeez.
Yeah.
Pretty good. Off to a good start. Playing a heck of a player or two here in Logan Mize.
Yeah, Logan's no slouch.
Now, Logan can battle, man. Logan can battle.
He made top 8 of the last Invitational. I don't know if you knew that.
Thank you. I did know that because I was broadcasting it.
Oh, yeah?
Do you remember? Wait, did you beat him?
Did you pick him to win? Is that what happened?
Did you? I don't remember. Did I? You have a really sharp memory for who I picked to win in the top 8 of the Invitational.
I don't know if you remember giving me a hard time about my picks not panning out one time.
No. See, that's not what happened. See, you kept bringing up the fact that you got him right. You kept throwing it in my face.
Well, I did keep getting them right.
See, that's what happened. I don't care who gets them right or wrong, but you kept throwing it in my face, which I did not like. You can't just do that. It makes me have to bring it up when you're wrong. So really, you did it to yourself. You did it to yourself. Aaron's on 5. He's scribed to the top. He's got a Forsaken Sanctuary to start. Now, one of the things you've talked about with Black-White, with me personally, is just the fact that this deck needs to hit its land drop for the first 5 turns of the game. When you mulligan a 5, that's hard to do.
It is. And while you're hitting those land drops, you still have to have things to do on each of those turns.
Yeah, it's important. A Hangerback Walker here for 1 by Logan.
Now, it looks like Logan has missed a land drop.
Yeah, that's awkward. Here's a Thought Knots here. Colorless mana thanks to Caves of Koilos. Oh, well. Logan.
I like the little flourish from
Logan going to show it off a little bit here. 3 Nissa Vastwood Seers, a Den Protector, a Stasis Snare, and a Planar Outburst is the hand he'll be left with.
You can pick from all of these.
Logan, I recommend drawing a land like right now.
Or not. Which side are you on here?
Look, if he wants to play a game of Magic, which he's not going to get to do maybe, he'd better draw a land.
That's fair.
Hangerback Walker hanging out on D.
Now, the thing is, when he doesn't draw the land, he should probably just put the counter on that Hangerback Walker right away, right?
I think you can wait. I think. This game's over.
Probably, yeah. Doesn't matter if he puts the counter on it or not.
Not too much anymore. Reality Smasher. There's a block. Put a counter on that bad boy. Okay, it's actually not over because he has a Stasis Snare.
Yes. Yeah, he can chump block the Thought Knots here for another 2 turns.
Like, he needs to peel the white mana right now, which I think he may have.
Oh, this would be a slow roll.
I might be wrong.
I was going to say.
Just attack him with the Thopters.
just show him.
Oh,
I'm no punk.
Yeah. You don't want to let him go down without taking any damage.
Maybe he'll take the other 19 from his own lands.
Yeah. Very reminiscent of the previous game. He's got a 2-mana spell. It's a Declaration in Stone? Yeah.
Now, he really wants to get the Thought Knots here to get another chance at a land.
I think you have to kill the Smasher.
But he's got to kill the Smasher.
Yeah, I think you have to. He's going to give Sorrells a clue. Pass the turn back.
I like that clue.
Because it doesn't have max on it.
What? Why? Man.
Here comes Thought Knot. Easy block. Kalidas is a problem. That's here. Mize. Drew a Secure the Waste. Good card.
Yep.
Castable card.
Yep.
It's important.
This is just the most awkward draw for Logan.
This is the most. Yeah, this has to be so frustrating. He's got 26 lands in his deck and 4 Oath of Nisses.
And the whole time there's that clue token over there just staring back at him.
Yep.
Like, I know I wouldn't be happy about that clue token. Staring at me.
Sorrells, I think he has Linvala in hand. I think.
It looks like land Secure the Waste, but I'm not 100%.
Yeah, it's land something. It's definitely a playable spell. Here come the beatdowns.
He's shuffling that hand just so fast.
He's so young. So much dexterity in those hands.
Yeah, he still has all that energy.
Yeah. It's worn out of us by now.
Oh yeah, life is just beating the enthusiasm out of us.
When I play a game, I just set my hand down. I don't even shuffle the cards in between my hands very much more. I just set them down. Someone asks me how many cards I have, I just spread them across. I don't answer them.
Oh, it is Limbala.
Yeah.
It's a big boy.
Draw a card. Is it the 4th Nissa? Oh, Archangel Avacyn.
An angel? That's a good card.
Nice.
That's a good card.
The Lips of an Angel. It's a tough game to lose.
I can't believe it when Kibler shuffles his hand. You've seen this?
Yeah, I've known Brian for a long time.
Yeah, it's the most frantic thing I've ever seen in my life.
Well, just let me give you a little life advice. Don't let Kibler borrow cards. That's all.
Just absolutely ruined by the time they get back to you.
Yeah, I don't know what's below slightly played, but that's what you get when you get them back.
There's actually a classification for that.
Oh, it's like
called
moderately played.
no, it's Kibler played.
Yeah, it's Kibler played. Yeah. We'll have to put those on the website for anyone looking to purchase them, as Aaron Sorrells is going to win this match here over Logan Mize, 2-1. Black-White Control going to take care of Green-White tokens. Untimely mana issues there for Logan, but that can't happen, as Sorrells is going to move forward to 5-0 with his Black-White Control deck.